But what we need to talk to Merce about now is what happened at the Emirates.
Controversy has once again engulfed the Arsenal faithful, and this time the outrage feels louder, sharper, and far more justified. In a match that should have been defined by footballing quality, intensity, and tactical brilliance, it was yet another baffling intervention, or rather, lack of intervention from the video assistant referee VAR that stole the spotlight. A moment that looked like a clear, undeniable penalty for Arsenal against Southampton was astonishingly ignored, leaving players, coaches, pundits, and millions of fans around the world in sheer disbelief. The incident unfolded during a period of sustained Arsenal pressure. With crisp passing, intelligent movement, and relentless attacking intent, Arsenal carved through Southampton's defensive structure with the kind of fluidity that has defined their best performances. The ball was slipped into the penalty area with precision, and just as the Arsenal attacker looked set to pull the trigger, he was brought down under what appeared to be obvious contact. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't debatable. It was the kind of challenge that, in any other context, would have resulted in an immediate whistle. Players threw their arms in the air. The bench rose in unison. Fans inside the stadium erupted, fully expecting the referee to point to the spot. But the whistle never came. Play continued, almost as if nothing had happened. The disbelief was instant, but what followed only deepened the controversy. All eyes turned to VAR, the supposed safety net of modern football. Introduced to correct clear and obvious errors, VAR was expected to intervene in precisely these types of situations. Yet, in a moment where intervention seemed not just appropriate but necessary, there was silence. No on-field review. No pitch-side monitor check. No delay suggesting a serious examination. Just a decision that stood, untouched and unexplained. How does a system designed to eliminate injustice end up reinforcing it? This is not an isolated incident. For Arsenal, it is becoming an all too familiar narrative. Time and time again, they find themselves at the center of contentious decisions that seem to defy logic and consistency. Each week brings a new flashpoint, a new controversy, a new reason for frustration. At what point does coincidence give way to concern? The outrage wasn't limited to those wearing red and white. Across the footballing world, analysts and former professionals reacted with astonishment. Replays of the incident were dissected frame by frame, with many concluding that the contact was sufficient if not blatant enough to warrant a penalty. Some went further, labeling the decision a complete breakdown of VAR's purpose. Fans took to social media in their thousands, flooding timelines with clips, screenshots, and furious commentary. Hashtags began trending within minutes, amplifying the sense of injustice and demanding accountability. The digital space became a courtroom, with VAR firmly in the dock, but beyond the noise lies a deeper, more troubling issue: inconsistency. One of the core promises of VAR was to standardize decision-making, to ensure that similar incidents receive similar outcomes regardless of the teams involved or the stage of the match. Yet what fans are witnessing is the exact opposite. Challenges that are given as penalties in one game are ignored in another. Marginal calls are scrutinized to microscopic detail in some instances, while seemingly obvious fouls are overlooked in others. For Arsenal, the implications are significant. In a league as competitive as the Premier League, where margins between success and failure are razor thin, decisions like these can have far-reaching consequences. Points dropped due to questionable officiating can ultimately shape title races, European qualification, and even managerial futures. There is also a psychological toll. Players step onto the pitch expecting fairness, trusting that their efforts will be judged impartially. When that trust is repeatedly undermined, frustration begins to creep in. It affects decision-making, confidence, and ultimately performance. The sense that you are fighting not just your opponent, but also the system, is a dangerous mindset to cultivate. Even for Southampton, beneficiaries on this occasion, the controversy casts a shadow. While they may accept the outcome, they cannot ignore the broader implications. Because football has a way of evening things out, and what benefits one team today may well cost them tomorrow. The silence from officials only adds fuel to the fire. Fans and stakeholders are left craving transparency, clear explanations, detailed breakdowns, and honest acknowledgement of mistakes. Instead, they are often met with vague statements or complete absence of communication. This lack of openness only deepens mistrust and perpetuates the cycle of controversy. So where does football go from here? VAR, in theory, remains a powerful tool. When used correctly, it can enhance fairness and reduce human error. But its effectiveness hinges on consistency, clarity, and accountability, qualities that, at present, seem frustratingly absent. Without them, VAR risks becoming not a solution, but a source of endless debate and division. As the final whistle blew on this encounter, the result felt almost irrelevant. The real talking point, the moment that will be replayed, analyzed, and argued over for days to come, was the penalty that never was. Arsenal walked off the pitch not just disappointed, but deeply aggrieved, once again left to wonder how such decisions continue to go against them. And for the fans, the question grows louder with every passing week: how many more times must they endure this until there is accountability, until there is consistency, and until there is a genuine commitment to fairness? The shadow of controversy will continue to loom large over the beautiful game, and for Arsenal, the feeling of being robbed may remain an all too familiar reality.